today I'm going to teach you how to hunt a mountain lion. And the guy's like, a mountain lion? Like, why the fuck would you want to teach me how to hunt a mountain lion? He's like, you got to be tested, bro. And so he sets up this really complicated trap in which he essentially first needs to trap like one of these water rodents. He kind of like pierces the water rodent in such a way that the water rodent is like trapped and bleeding a little bit and making like a lot of noise in like a swamp. He instructs Carlos to get up on a tree, to have like a net that's designed in such a way that it could be thrown on the mountain lion so that the mountain lion is kind of trapped. And he tells him, I'm going to be positioned somewhere over here. So they have the setup in which Carlos is going to be in such a way over the path in which the lion is going to come in. He's going to supposed to throw the net over the mountain lion, trap him, and then the Juan's going to come out and finish the job somehow. Doesn't go to plan. It doesn't go to plan. Carlos literally almost shits his pants. They're both running for the fields like crazy, and they got a pissed off mountain lion chasing them. And so this is just like a little anecdote of the things that they do. And at the end of the day, what happens, the moral of the story is to evade the mountain lion, Carlos does feats that he wouldn't believe he was capable of in his non-altered state. So they essentially went up this like really steep mountain with like huge rocks to avoid the mountain lion. And then when he gets to the top, exhausted, collapsed, covered in sweat, Don Juan goes up there laughing. And he's like, what are you laughing about? It's like, there's a fucking mountain lion behind us trying to eat us. And then Juan says something along the lines is like, if you were to see during the day, the places you just maneuvered and what you did to avoid the lion, like you wouldn't believe what you just did. And so part of the story there is to be in a state in which you know you're lost, you have nothing on the table, and you have everything to gain, which is essentially saving your own life, and the extent to which you will go to save your own life, and the things that you are capable of doing to save your own life.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of like a little story and a lot of similar weird stories that go on in that book that usually involves him and his teacher hiking through the desert of Northwest Mexico and sometimes the Southwest part of Mexico in the mountains in Oaxaca. The really famous book by Miguel Ruiz is called The Four Agreements. You guys might have heard of it. That's essentially the teachings of Don Juan distilled in a very short, user-friendly book.
What is
And the analogy,
the four
the
game?
Four Agreements.
It's like I know it's a red cover with like
Yeah, it's got like a
square-
cross,
yeah.
like an agave plant. So that's a book I also recommend, actually, The Four Agreements. It's just like Don Juan's teachings summarized in a more palatable way that's more available for general audience.